ABC News. I hear one boy from Flemington, he complaining about food. When you are you going to touch her video, how he been talking, and share with him this my video. Brother, you are not allowed to complain about haram. Government, you have a responsibility to know your culture, food you use, and to know your original food they want. Now when they give you food, you have to eat. This time is not your responsibility. Food you eat there. Now if it's a haram, judges are not going to blame you this food. They're not going to blame you this food. I believe Jesus. I believe you believe Jesus, and I believe you believe Muhammad. They never teach you when you have a problem. Now you don't have food, you want to die for food, you are hungry. They teach you have to eat and you get you to survive. Now this time you are like people in the prison. In the prison, when they bring you food, you eat. Now if it's a haram. Now outside, when you are suffering, you can't see any food. Now if it's a pork, you get pork, you have to eat. You to survive. After you move, you survive. You start to get food, different food. You start to choose the food you want. This is the time you have a responsibility. Now in the flat this time, when you don't have responsibility to get food, government, when they bring you food, you have to eat. When they bring you food, pork, nali haram, is not your responsibility, it's the responsibility of the government. To know government, you have to know all cultures, they not eat the same food. Now if you are not original all cultures, they have different food. Now this time, if you are not to get sick about this food, you have to eat. And you are not allowed to complain with the Jewish food. If Jewish food is your neighbor, all Jesus and Muhammad, they teach you have to give them food, and them they have to give you food. Now them they have a responsibility to give you food, to love each other. And Muhammad, he teach you. He said when you have your neighbor, you have to give him food. Now if he is not your religion, now if he is not your culture, now if he don't have a religion, you have to give him food. Meaning na him when he want to give you food, he will give you food, you will take. You can't confuse. I don't want food, you are not Muslim. Nango, you are not Catholic, you don't have a religion. Now this is the time you are like a prison. Judges are not going to judge you food you eat there. Now don't complain again. You eat food Jewish. When you don't know this, share when you get my video, share with all leaders of religion. They tell you how I tell you about your neighbor. All all Muhammad Jesus, they teach the same, they're no different neighbors. eating together food. They're no different, all of them the same. Now, brother, pray only to single you this sickness. Not is pray to single you can move in flat. Now to have your responsibility, you to looking the food you want. Okay, bye. I pray for you to single you can move there to buy food you want. And I pray for you, don't confuse the food, and you die, you will kill yourself. Allah is not going, He is going to blame you kill yourself. Okay, bye.
Like 500 police officers in an instant. Why aren't there resources such as food and medicine and healthcare professionals such as doctors, nurses, all deployed here as well to help us? Literally, our area has had history with police abuse, police enforcement. Yesterday, they gave us a bag of sausage rolls and they just left that in front of our door. They're left in the elevators, just telling us to eat it like we're a pack of animals, which is unfair, uncalled for, because they didn't take into consideration the dietary requirements for so many people in the building that are Muslims, and so we don't know whether the food's halal. We don't know whether the food is kosher for some Jewish people. We don't know whether the food is vegan friendly to those that don't eat meat at all. Actually, it's just been a lack of concern, lack of disrespect. They haven't been caring for us whatsoever. It's terrifying for most people, and it will leave detrimental pain and scarring to people's mental health. Those are the most vulnerable in this situation, as well as the young kids that don't even know what's happening.